right, we are back. Spyderslayer versus Nell is going to be coming your way. Another PVZ.
Yep. How many of we should actually do a tally of how many of those we've done today.
There's been a lot.
There's been quite a few.
That is for sure.
But
there has been a lot.
One more ain't going to hurt.
All right. Both our players are ready. We're going into Cactus Valley. Let me make sure he's ready. He's saying something might not be right.
Yep. Got to make sure they're ready. Otherwise, they get irritated. And who would blame them?
Okay, we're good to go.
Alrighty.
Thanks again for everyone joining us today. Yeah. Really appreciate it.
You know, we interviewed both of those players right before this match, and it sounded like Spyderslayer was feeling pretty confident, and that Nell was not feeling so confident. And obviously that's going to make a difference in their play style. Do you think that there's something that Nell has up his sleeve that Spyderslayer is not going to be ready for?
I don't know. I mean, like Nell said in his interview, he kind of came into it feeling a little rough this morning, and you could definitely tell in this play it was a pretty easy 2-0 for Spyderslayer. But you know, Nell has shown some. It was actually, I was actually really surprised how he got kind of rolled over than last match. I expected that to be a lot closer. So I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how much he's kind of checked out himself.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that may be the case, but I mean, he's made it pretty far in the tournament. I mean,
absolutely.
And you know, he took down all of his previous opponents, including Zan, to get here. You know,
how much you're into it really makes a difference on how well you play, I feel. And I know Spyderslayer is. I mean, he's in it to win it. So if Nell's in it to win it, I think it'll be really close, and we'll see what happens. But in the lower left-hand corner of the map, Cactus Valley, it is our purple Actually, it's not. It's like fuchsia Protoss. It's Nell.
In the bottom right corner of the map, the yellow carapaced Zerg, feeling confident coming into this match. It is Spyderslayer. You know, and I think that he was talking about that concert that he went to. I'm pretty sure he went to the same concert last year.
Yeah.
I think they come here every year, and he really, that's one of the, I think, the reasons he comes, frankly. He really enjoys that.
Well, I mean, that's the really cool thing about coming to this event. You pay $35 for entrance into the game room and your entrance into the tournament, but then even if you lose early, you still can experience the rest of what's going on. Go to some concerts, you can check out some other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like you go to a LAN and you lose 2-0 and you just drive home. You know, there's a little bit more to it than that. Spyderslayer does have quite an early scout here, so he's going to be well aware of what's going on.
Yep, keeping his information up to date.
What that tells me is that he really wants to do some of his early expanding play, but he wants to feel good about it.
Yeah.
And I think you know, he sees the gateway and gas going down here pretty close. I think he's probably going to go for a natural, but not quite the 3 bases before spawning pool like he likes to sometimes.
We will have to see. He does have that natural down. It looks like he was feeling pretty comfortable with that. Probe's heading across to see exactly what he's doing, to see if he can see if there's a third base going down.
It's actually super annoying when a drone keeps poking away at a pylon like that, because by the time you get out a zealot or something and get it down there, you can almost have that pylon dead. But then again, you can't do any scouting either.
Right. Very concentrated effort. Well, those minerals keep going up for Spyderslayer. I'm going to guess that he's going to go put down another base.
Looks like he's got a drone on its way out. See if he's got something planted down. Not yet. But it looks like he is going to be headed up towards the third base position. That is going to be a 3 base before pool. Take what I said and chuck it.
But Nell is, you know, he's scouting around. He's seeing that there's not that pool, and he's going to go and see that third base going down. So he's going to have a good idea of what's happening and have a good feel for what is going to be happening pretty soon.
Yeah, he's putting down that gas before pool and to get the speed right away. Apparently he's missing a probe of Nell's. There it is.
Running away.
Yeah, so going to be an expansion here from Nell. Cybercore is finishing up, as well as some gas. The probe is suspiciously off in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that could be tricky. That sometimes means, especially in that position, I feel like that is pretty indicative of doing something goofy up there, right?
Yeah, it looks like Spyderslayer really likes his lings and mailings. Could go something along that route. He likes to do that and then go with 3 or 4 more gases and transition into the roaches we've seen in ZVP. And I think that's kind of what got Nell earlier today. Also, speaking of earlier today, if you want to come back and review these games, they're not there yet because they take some effort on my part, but once the event is over and have some time to decompress, all the VODs from the event will be on YouTube at youtube.com/WingNutStarcraft, as well as the past 2 years of Youmacon and pretty much every other event we've ever done. So go ahead and check that out if you want to see some of our other past events. Also follow this channel, SC2CTL. We do events like this from time to time. We do Youmacon every year, as well as a lot of other regional events here.
Occasionally some StarCraft Jeopardy, occasionally some...
Yeah, also, yeah, if you have not seen StarCraft Jeopardy and you missed out on that, a show started by the person who created SC2CTL, who's chatting alongside me in chat as SC2CTL right now. All of the StarCraft Jeopardy VODs are on YouTube. Those are pretty fun to watch if you got not much to do or just hanging around. Some quality opponents on those shows.
Yep. And if you're looking for something to do after the cast ends this evening, that would be something to fill your time with. So Phoenix are the choice here. You're going to get your wish. This is some air thoughts, it looks like.
All right. I have a feeling, though, I'm having flashbacks now from earlier today. I believe it was Nell that went up against Spyderslayer. He got up to 3 or 4 Phoenix and just kind of used them as bait, really, and just some harassing to clear out some of the overlords, and then went for more of a traditional ground force. He does have Twilight Council coming down, as well as Warp Gate is about to finish up, but he hasn't really added on any additional gateways yet, so...
And it looks like Spyderslayer is looking to kind of handle this in the same way that he has earlier today, which is he immediately put down a Baneling Nest. He's getting his melee attack level 1, and I think he's just going to try and get a lot of Zerglings and Banelings and just kind of run right in there.
Yeah, two more Warp Gates going to be coming down now. A little bit behind, though, if he wanted to do any kind of push, as Warp Gate is now finished, but he's got 1 functioning Warp Gate now. +1 is about to finish for melee on the Spyderslayer side. Phoenix still poking around, trying to do some damage here against the Overlords, but the Spore Crawlers have that under control so far. It's pretty laid back opening to the game here. +1 is done now for Spyderslayer, so he could start massing up some lings. Looks like he's doing that. 25+ lings in the queue.
But it looks like Nell may be preparing for this. He's getting +1 ground weapons, and he's getting charged for his zealots.
Nell doesn't really have a whole heck of a lot, though. I mean, Spyderslayer's going to come in and see this very tasty third base out here with not much around it. And these Zerglings are going to nom nom nom. I mean, Phoenix, you know,
they're trying.
Phoenix are not the most efficient weapon against Zerglings like this, but this also did leave the front gate wide open. Oh, Nell took the bait. Zergling's going to come in and get quite a good number of probe kills here. Photon Overcharge does go down. Second wave of Ling's going to take out that third base while the first wave moves up into the main. Does cancel an additional gateway going down. The Phoenix are just kind of along for the ride.
Ooh, and that Nexus did not get canceled.
Spyderslayer getting himself a really good advantage here. 31 probes now forced to mine out of the natural expansion since the main was under duress. So that's going to really not only impact his mining because the third base went down, but all the time he was not mining in the main is going to be rough, especially since Spyderslayer has 3 fully saturated bases.
Yeah, he really wanted to take that third expansion, and you know, if Spyderslayer hadn't been pushing out, it's very possible that he would have been ready to do so, but not today, it seems.
Yeah, Spyderslayer is sitting in a really good position here. The Zealots are going to come back and plug the hole here. Nell's just really trying to get a lot more Warp Gates down. But the Ling's going to get a huge surround around these units, and +1 is done, +2 is on the way. +1 armor there also, so they're pretty beefy compared to the I guess Nell does have +1, but still making their way through these units pretty quickly.
And Nell putting down buildings to try and maintain this wall. Zerglings are, wow, they're doing a lot of damage. And that forge is going to go right on down. No upgrade for you, and in they go. There's the GG.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny there because Nell, I'm going to go back into the game for a second. Nell, oh, I hit the wrong button. I guess I'm not going back in the game. Nell put down all of those pylons and cannons back there to try and block that off, and he just took out the forge and went right on around.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a pretty good game number 1, and you know, really, it just came down to Spyderslayer really found his good opportunities and took them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have to believe, based on the reaction that we saw from Spyderslayer, that he saw those initial Phoenix and kind of smirked to himself, because, I mean, the decision-making, as soon as he saw that first one, was very quick. He knew what he was going to do, and it really paid off for him. And it's similar to what we saw earlier today.
Indeed. Just getting a map choice from Nil.
So as we said, this is going to be the last match of the evening. We will be starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, Eastern Daylight Time.
Yep.
As
oh, that's right.
Yeah, because
extra hour to party.
There is a clock change this evening, and so we will be starting in Eastern Daylight Time, 10 a.m.
You know, you used to have to remind people about that, but now that everyone uses their cell phones as watches, or their watches are attached to their cell phones, it's not as big of an issue.
Very automatic these days.
Yeah. I want to go back to that game a little bit, because I don't really think that the Phoenix he made got a lot done.
No.
If anything, it was kind of didn't leave him with the resources he needed to defend that. I mean, someone said in chat, how do you lose the mass ling? I mean, typically something like that is a lot easier to defend per Protoss, but he used all the gas on the Stargate, and the Phoenix didn't have any sentries.
Right.
I mean, 2 sentries would have made a huge difference there, just being able to segregate those lings. So
yeah, and you know, like, and zone them out too to prevent. I mean, if he could have popped a force field to prevent those lings from funneling in at that first one, he would have saved 9 probes right there. And
yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of gas. That's a lot of minerals. That
I mean, he kind of poked around and got a couple Overlord kills, but that's not anything that's going to be the end of the world, especially for a Zerg that usually stays well ahead of supply.
Yeah, I don't think that's how Nell typically sees that play out, so I think he was kind of disappointed with how that worked out. We'll see if we see a different build come out of him in this second game.
Well, while we get this game set up, why don't you tell everyone about our sponsors today?
Yeah, so if you've been following us throughout the day, you've heard about them quite a bit. If you're just joining us, we'd love to tell you about MythLogic, and they are our sponsor today. They have put up $500 to increase our prize pool, and that has put us up over, I think, $1,200 in total prizes.
Yeah, actually, I
can actually read that while you're doing it. I think we have the exact breakdowns of what's going on. At any rate, so MythLogic has put up that money, and they are a desktop PC and laptop builder. You know, they take custom orders, and you can go to their website and you can kind of build your dream machine, go nuts, and just see what it would look like. And they ship all over the place. They're based locally around here, which is one reason to support them, because they're a local, smaller business, and a second reason is because they're a supporter of esports. They've consistently put sponsorship money towards events that have happened in Michigan and boosted the prize pool money to draw a lot of talent that's providing these high-quality games that we're seeing today. So if you've been enjoying the cast, just go ahead and tweet at them that you've been enjoying it, that you appreciate them sponsoring esports. If you're looking to build a new computer, I encourage you to check them out and play around on there, because you can build some pretty neat stuff. But as I was going to say, they've allowed us to increase our prize pools, and so we're able to pay out to the 6th position. And so 6th place and 5th place are going to be taking home $87. 4th place is taking home $107. 3rd place is taking home $167. 2nd place is taking home $247. And 1st place is taking home $427. So that's the money. That money comes from MythLogic. That money comes from Youmacon as their tournament's money, and then additional funds come from the number of players who registered from the tournament, and then that gets broken up based on the algorithm that we've posted on Team Liquid in the tournament information. So if you want to take a look at that and break down the numbers, that's where you'll find it. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent change.
Yeah, I mean, really it is. You know,